what's your name and what brought you here to the network state?
Okay, so I'm Vitor. I usually tell people I'm Victor, but I'm actually Vitor without a C, which is the Brazilian version of it. I'm 22 years old, and I'm a video editor. I have a solo video editing agency.
Sweet, dude.
And what brought me to the network school was, I don't know, I've been a fan of Balaji for a while now, like a couple of years. I've been like reading his tweets and stuff, like his newsletter. And then once he sent out the email with the announcement talking about the school,
Yep.
I was like, damn, this is so cool.
What brought you to Balaji initially? Do you remember?
So yeah. So I was one of my first plans was to study economics in university.
Yeah.
I ended up not doing that.
Many has that like as a default plan. For
Yeah, for a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of men especially.
Yep.
And I was really into Austrian economics. And a lot of the people, which is like the, let's say, libertarian
Yes.
economics school.
Right.
And a lot of people in that bubble, they are also like very into like not specifically crypto like as a whole, but they're very into Bitcoin.
And like this like freedom, anarchy,
Yeah.
liberalism. Okay, fair enough.
I was more into like the economical side of it, so they were
Yes.
talking about like decentralized currencies, and there's like this book. There's this famous Austrian economist, Friedrich Hayek. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Never.
And he has this book from like the 1960s or 70s, which is called The Decentralization of Money. And so in that book, he kind of like predicted something like Bitcoin would come around.
Epic.
And then
Pre-internet.
yeah, pre-internet.
That's a
Yeah.
beast.
I mean, they already had like the World War II computers and stuff.
So you were reading
but-
these books, and then you got into Balaji from.
And then
the
I got
Bitcoin
into
angle.
like crypto, to like Bitcoin, and then from there, I think around the same time I got to know Naval Ravikant, and
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think they're always like retweeting each other and stuff. And
They
so,
are kind of very similar persons. in a
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Like this techno philosopher.
right. So
Influencer.
that was my introduction to both like the crypto world and Bitcoin. I'm not really into crypto, but that was
No.
my introduction to it, and then that led me to Balaji and all this stuff.
The crypto can be. It's just a fascinating concept. Just the philosophy of it. You don't have to be into trading and the technology. Just it's such a broad thing.
Right.
Interesting in that way.
Yeah, and to be honest, a lot of people here are in crypto, but the way I see it, I like Bitcoin, but I'm not really sure about like everything else, because I think there are like,
There's levels to it.
yeah, and there are like too many projects that I think sound like super nice in theory, but
Yes.
they have like low practical application or like commercial viability.
But it takes so long time to get to that viability.
Exactly.
It's gonna take 10 years plus.
Yeah.
Feels like. But tell me more about this video editing. Yeah, you're basically entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You're doing your own thing. That's pretty amazing at your age.
Thanks.
What kind of videos?
Mostly for social media creators, so it's like a lot of client work. I started as a hobby when I was younger, just like doing like my own YouTube channels and like video game videos. I was playing Call of Duty, Minecraft, all that
Just
stuff.
editing your own YouTube videos.
Just editing my
I
own
love
YouTube videos, and then so I always did that as a hobby. And after high school, I decided not to go to university, so I didn't go into economics. And I was home. Long story short, I was at home.
In
basically-
Brazil?
In Brazil, yeah, back in Brazil, basically doing nothing. A lot of people in my family are like entrepreneurs. They have like companies and stuff. And my father,
Is that normal where you're from, or is it just your family?
no, not really. I mean, not a lot of people in my family, like 3 people, which
But
is like
still,
a lot. Yeah,
that's a lot. Yeah.
but so my father has a business, and I always helped him with some like he needed like to do like a social media post or like a video or something.
Yeah.
I'd always do it for him,
Yeah.
but never as like a professional thing, never like formally. And then one day that led me to like one of my like to doing like more formal work for him, which then led me to do some work from like an uncle of mine, then like to a
Word of mouth.
yeah,
right?
word of mouth, like with like family and friends. One of my mother's friends, and then that eventually led to like that just kept going. That's the
Yep.
and
You've
that
been
kept
building
going
on
and
it.
growing, and yeah, and then like this like in 2023, that was my first time working with people internationally.
Via the internet, they
Yeah.
found you, or how do you work?
So like by chance, I found a couple guys who are business partners in the UK, and they needed like they posted on Twitter, we need some like video editing work.
Nice.
And then I like DM'd them, asked for the files, they sent me, they liked the videos, and then that became like a 3-month like working relationship.
So are you more into like very short content, long content, or it doesn't really matter for you?
For me, both, but I do more short form, but just because the clients demand it more. And
Yeah.
now it's like way hotter, you know, everyone wants short form.
It's an insanely hot business. Like Balaji said today, that
Yeah.
the 60-second, if you're really good at making a 60-second video, you can change the world, essentially.
I think so,
It's
yeah.
very powerful at the moment.
And it has so much reach, that's the thing. I don't know
Right.
if you've seen, but now Twitter also has like the short form like video feed. So if you click on a video on Twitter, you can scroll down and the algorithm like will
Yeah,
like,
yep.
show you more videos. So like,
Yes, but it's kind of interesting, the Twitter feed, because it's more, you know, I at least like it more, the videos there.
absolutely, yeah.
It's not yet to become the clickbait.
Yeah. It's more
technical.
informational.
Informational. Is
Yeah,
the-
yeah,
yes. So it's kind of nice that way. Okay, really cool. You're in the interesting business, but you're obviously doing really well. You're here in, you know, traveling at that age, so you're basically kind of set monetarily from this. It's just-
I
how
wouldn't
is it?
say, I mean, if I'm being completely honest with you, the past 6 months have been like the best months of my life in terms of like financially.
Yeah.
The business has like,
Fuck yeah.
thank God, the business has been growing like kind of well. And again, now more and more working with international clients, because if I was only working with Brazilian clients, I always have to convert the money. Like
Yes.
if I was to translate it to like US dollars, it's divided by 5.
Wow.
But like now almost
So
6.
you make 5x just by going
just by going international.
That's
yeah,
crazy good.
almost 6x. And so
What do you think about this AI editing tools? Are you all trying out that? Is it all? What are your thoughts?
yeah, I use a couple of those. Obviously, like Premiere, most of the editing softwares, they have like native AI functions. So, for example, transcription,
Yes, that.
captions and stuff.
Uh-huh.
They have a lot of room for improvement, but they're already like very good, and they save a lot of time. Like especially caption stuff, like captioning. It's so annoying and so boring, and so if
Yes.
you have like even the slightest of a good like auto transcription tool, that already like saves a ton of work.
Whisper is so good. It became good like this past year.
Yeah.
It just works.
There's that other one, Submagic, I think, which is kind of growing now, and a lot of people are getting. They have like a cool affiliate program, so I feel like everyone's like promoting it now.
But so the transcription. What about the like editing part? Is that anything interesting there you're using?
Yes, I haven't used much of the video generation AI tools. So like, I mean, obviously there's Sora, which is set to be like the best one. It hasn't come out yet, like the OpenAI video generation model.
Oh really? Didn't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one like is supposed to be like the goat of it so far, the gold standard. And so the way I do it is I use like image generation tools like Midjourney, or I don't know, even like ChatGPT's like native like DALL-E. There's another one like that's really good. It's almost better than Midjourney in my opinion. It's called Leonardo AI, which is more for like images, drawings, and stuff.
And you use images for thumbnails or just in videos you use a lot
And then
of
in
images?
videos, I'll do like, so the way we do it, or the way I try to do it, is I'll get like, if I want to like show something, in video in video editing, we talk a lot about show, not tell.
Yes.
So instead of like having the person like explain a concept, you can also like show it with images and stuff.
Yes.
And so I'll get like the image of, let's say, a background, or like this. Imagine this was like an AI image.
Yeah.
I can put that into the video editing program. I can separate the elements using Photoshop, and then I can animate the elements to
So
give it some
looks-
movement.
It looks alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of AI videos are like that. It's like a photo that is moving.
Yeah. And so-
Briefly in time as well. It can move sometimes.
Exactly. And this is basically what this is the simple stuff that the most recent like video AI tools are doing.
Yep.
They just add movement to like some static images.
Yes.
And so I just like to do that manually, because I think I have like some more control and stuff. You can also animate if you're doing like
Yeah.
like characters. You can animate body parts and stuff.
Very
And
cool.
so that's nice. But I think like if you were to ask me the same question like in a year, I think the answer will be completely different, you know, because this AI stuff just grows so fucking fast. It's insane.
It seems like video is now like the frontier where it's happening.
Yeah.
LLMs have a bit not changed that much in 6 months maybe.
Yeah.
It's ChatGPT 4 just okay, but yeah, very cool, very cool. What do you think about this island we're on, Forest City?
Dude, yeah, it's crazy.
It's pretty, what do you call, something like futuristic or solar
Yeah.
punk vibe.
Yeah, I think solar punk is the best way to describe it, right?
Yeah.
I heard someone saying it. I'm
Yes.
like, yeah. But I don't know, like infrastructure-wise, I don't know if you've been to Asia in the past, or if it's your first time here.
I've been, but only like as a tourist, never really stayed for long times.
Okay, but even as a tourist, like the thing that always amazes me, I've been to Europe in the past few times. There's nothing like Asian infrastructure. I feel like everything here is like super new, everything's top notch, everything is like looks futuristic by design, you know?
It's kind of new, whereas in the West or Americas, it's like built in the 80s.
Yeah, or in the 1800s maybe. Depends on where you're at, you know?
Yep.
And so I really like that about Asia, and I think Balaji was like underselling the place when he was first talking about it, when he was doing the whole like frontier not fancy talk.
Yeah.
I was expecting like
Yeah, this
I was
is
expecting
fancy.
something good, yeah, but this is fancy. This is like the hotel and the
It kind
co-working
of feels like a
spaces.
resort.
Yeah,
but-
it truly does.
It does give off that vibe.
Like just for context, for the people who are watching this, like
Yeah.
we're walking on the streets. We're not in a in a condominium or something like,
I mean,
and it feels like, I mean,
it's
there's not a lot of people around, but this
this city was built for how many 100,000 people?
I think like a million people
A
maybe.
million, and it's just haven't been filled up yet. So
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
They were explaining it yesterday that COVID like really slowed down the development of the city, and I think there were some Chinese government regulations that in the past they would allow Chinese citizens to like bring money to Malaysia and buy real estate, and now they can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So
Someone was also saying that overall in China they have been building a lot of real estate that is now being unused. It's not
Okay.
only, you know, they have been building a lot and people don't want to buy it the same way. It's like a cultural thing
yeah,
in China, but this is speculation, of course.
right. And I think the project itself, like for a city as a project, from what I heard people saying,
Yeah.
is that a lot of the people who would like to buy houses here would like to buy like a vacation house here, and not necessarily like their main house.
Yeah, but
you know,
that's, I
so-
feel like we are in that boat. We are here as
Yeah.
3-month visitors. It's perfect.
Right.
Let's see what this can become.
But yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that like even if the like half the apartments were sold, if they're all vacation homes, like there wouldn't be much people around, you know?
Still,
Yeah, still there wouldn't be much people around.
true, because it's not the season. For
Yeah,
that.
they're still living in China and just coming here like maybe on the weekends or when there's a holiday or something.
Yep. Okay, but still on. Back to videos. Who are you like excited about when you see edits? Who do you think is doing really well? Like examples of pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Does anything come to mind?
Do you mean like creators or like the
Yeah,
editors like themselves?
both.
People who are
Both, really.
okay. So there's this really cool podcast by Hayden Hillier-Smith, who was Logan Paul. You know Logan Paul?
Yeah.
He was Logan Paul's editor, and he has like a co-host, and they talk about a lot of like. I think they do a great job of explaining. Yeah, of explaining like Hollywood style techniques and how to fit them into like YouTube videos and how
Right.
to fit them like into internet editing. I think that's the next step forward. Is like a lot of people. I think there are two ways forward, to be honest. I think you can either do like the super edited cool stuff like Mr. Beast style editing, which is
Yeah.
like high production value, or you can do like super low production value, which would be something much closer to like a Samsung video or like a C-bomb video,
Right.
where it's just like someone is filming them, or like they're using a tripod to film themselves.
So it's like very
Yeah.
high quality or very just low effort. But Just
Exactly.
getting it out there.
I think these are like the two the two biggest like hot things right now.
Yeah.
Someone else who I think is like really cool. I don't remember his last name, but his name is Dan. He's Australian. He used to work with Casey Neistat. And he has like a very cool YouTube video. He has like a masterclass on his YouTube channel where he goes like over his creative process and stuff.
Nice.
And I think a lot of people unconsciously follow stuff that he's like teaching, you know. And I think when you put that, like when you formally integrate that into like into an editing style, I think that has a lot of potential to like be like
It's becoming
to
more
grow,
and more
yeah.
of a craft. Like people figure it out with the ways
yeah
of doing things.
I think so. And I mean to that point, because that's his style. I think that authenticity also is a trend. You know, people want to
Yes.
see
Yes.
different authentic stuff, and not like if I said like, oh, this guy's style is the best style. Like in a year, maybe it's not gonna be the better style anymore. But,
Yeah, but
everyone who's authentic, they tend to like stand out. You know.
I really hope that is true. I really do.
Yeah.
That feels like you're going more in that direction.
Yeah, and this is what I'm trying to do with a lot of my clients is not do like generic editing that like you wouldn't like be able to differentiate if this video was edited for like person A or person B.
Yes.
I'm also trying to put like their brand elements into the edits. So you
Nice,
use
dude.
their preferred fonts, colors, even like graphic elements and stuff.
Yeah.
I like to do that stuff because then like once you see like that edit, you know that that's for like this creator. It's not like the general, you know, they talk about, you probably know Alex Hormozy.
Yes. Yes.
People used to talk about like the Hormozy style editing
yeah.
because like everyone was using like the same font, the same colors, the same emojis.
Really?
And then it's like, yeah, that's like the Hormozy style, but you can also have like your style, you know, you can use your fonts, you can use your like camera animations or something.
I think you're onto something there. And then if you're genuine, then it's not copyable in the same way.
Exactly. And if someone copies it, it like adds value to your brand, you know.
True.
So it's like we call it like Hormozy style editing for a reason, you know, because everyone wants to copy him, and that only like further like I don't know, improved like the reach of his brand, because everyone's talking about it, even when talking about video editing, which
True.
he never talks about, you know.
True.
He's like a business guy, and
if they're copying you where you are now, then you are moving and you are becoming better. So they are always behind you if people are copying what you're doing.
yeah, and I think
In a
that's also like the whole thing with authenticity. You know, if you're always doing something that's authentic and something that is like true to the things that you believe in, who you are, you're always like pushing the boundaries in some way, because you're not necessarily like trying to follow something that's external. You know, you're just doing something that you like and something that like resonates with you. And in a way, I feel like that's also like pushing the boundaries. Naval was talking about that at the conference a couple of days ago, about how, you know, just go after the stuff that you're interested about, that you're passionate about.
All the good things he had done was
yeah,
things like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree, and it's also more enjoyable. Just who knows what's more efficient? Maybe it would be efficient to just be the general same thing all the time, but it wouldn't be maybe fun.
Yeah, and I think there's room for that also, to be honest. Like with the AI tools we were talking about, now it's like way easier if you're just like a business owner, or if you just want to start like making videos from your room. Like you can get like clips from your podcast or clips from your video in like a few minutes, but like the mobile apps that do like video captioning and like auto clipping, auto subtitling.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So yeah, the marginal cost of doing videos like goes down, and so when everyone, I think that also goes to the point of authenticity, which when everyone has the same style, the people who start to like, the people who stand out are the people who are more authentic, you know?
That's true,
So
that's very true. Originality.
Yeah, it works in both ways.
What did you think about this information warfare thing that Balaji was talking about? That modern age is more about the media, and the online is where the battle is waged. And he has this pretty hardcore view on social media being a place where you form this, well, like a war frontier in a way.
Yeah.
Do you buy into that?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think maybe you have like a different view coming from Finland, but Brazil is like very similar to the U.S. in terms of like politics. I believe it's like very bipolar. Can we say that? Like it's very bilateral. I don't know. There's like two clear different sides. You know, there's right and left.
Yes.
And the media has its agenda, the politicians have their agendas, the business people have their agendas.
Yes.
And everyone's like trying to control like public speech, I guess, or they're trying to like reinforce their agendas through
control minds, you know. That's like what it's all about.
through the
People's
public outlet.
beliefs.
Yeah.
So it's similar to the US in a way.
I think
In,
we're like
Brazil.
a few years behind, but I think we're on the same path, you know. And so yeah, but personally, I just try to like move away from that stuff, you know, or try to like stay away from that stuff. I like
Yeah.
to.
But as in your profession might be the biggest weapon we have in this, you know,
Yeah,
warfare type of thing.
yeah,
So it's kind of interesting. But I probably are doing good in staying away from that stuff.
yeah. More on a personal level. Again, like I was joking about this a couple days ago with someone I met at the conference, where I was saying that I use these like social media blocking apps, you know, that they do like time reduction,
yes,
screen
yes.
time reduction, and then like she was saying, oh, so you sell the drugs but you don't use them, like you do video like social media videos but you're not using a lot of social media.
Yes, yes.
And I was like, yeah, kinda.
I feel many are doing that because if you consume a lot, it's hard to do anything.
To create, yeah.
Yeah, that's like the axis in that is difficult in this day and age.
And I
Consume
think
versus create.
the more you consume, the less you're inclined to create original stuff, and the more you create, the more you force yourself to create original stuff, the more that reinforces the creative loop, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the way I see it, at least. Like my most productive hours, my most creative hours are the ones where I have like a clear mind and I'm not like, obviously like you can get like ideas from watching stuff and get insights and get like inspiration, but I think you also have to like let your inner creative self like manifest, you know?
Yes, and you are gonna consume anyway because it's just forced.
Exactly, like
upon
you
you
cannot
can't avoid it.
Yeah, you can't avoid it. Yeah,
So you can might as well try to minimize.
exactly. That's the way I see it.
What are you using to block out?
I'm using this app called Opal.
Has it worked for you?
Sorry?
Has it worked for you?
Very well, yeah. I've been able to reduce like my screen time like by half on my phone. And it's pretty simple. It just like blocks. You cannot bypass or block, you know, on like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I'm not using a lot of TikTok, but they just have like a very strict blocking.
And you set like how many minutes per day you want to use it, or how does it? What's yours?
Yeah.
Setup?
So the way they function is you can go on the app, and if you wait for like 30 seconds, you can get like a timeout that caps at 15 minutes. So I just leave everything blocked at 24/7. And then if I want to use social media, I'll like have to wait for like the 30-second
Nice.
timeout like request.
So it's basically a 30-second, and then you can use it.
Yeah.
For 15 minutes.
For 15 minutes at a time, each time, right? But then like
Yes.
if you request for timeout again, it's like 90 seconds instead of 30 seconds, so that you're less incentivized to wait, you know? That's the way it works, and it has been working like wonders for me. And on the computer, I use another one called, because I have a Windows laptop, I don't have a desktop at home and a laptop.
Yeah.
And so I use one called freedom.to, but Opal is also on Mac, so you can like synchronize your sessions from cell phone and laptop if you want. But Freedom's pretty much the same thing. It's just there's no timeouts, so it just blocks everything. Yeah, which is good on one hand, but also sometimes I need to use like Twitter to like get content that I will turn into like videos or like tweets and stuff that I need to repost. So I need to like have
you get in there, do the posts and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you need in 15 minets you can do a lot.
Yeah,
Also,
if you're
you-
intentional with your 15 minutes.
You can read all your messages, go through everything, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that actually. I like your.
Yeah, it's really
setup.
good. It's like $2 a month, and it's like for me, it's like super worth it because like how much is an hour of productive time worth? You know, definitely more than $2.
Like one really productive hour can be wild. You
Yeah.
can come up with some wild stuff.
Yeah.
But tell me still, this network school, you have 3 months. Do you have any intention or what you're looking to? It doesn't have to be anything specific.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be a good opportunity to really just like lock in, because I like to think I'm generally like a fit person back at home. I eat very well, I exercise pretty much every day, but here's like I'm just like amping that up, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, we have like all the healthy meals, we have like daily workouts, we have the gym at the hotel. In terms of work, I also like tend to work on weekends as well. But here, like seeing everyone at the co-working space, seeing everyone at the co-working space, or being in this like atmosphere where everyone's like trying to work.
Committing for it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, they were talking about it, but it's like the group accountability, you know. If you see that everyone's like working out, you'll go and work out too. If you see everyone's working on their projects, you want to work on your projects too.
I, also, like after breakfast or after lunch, it's not like people don't stay around to chit chat. And so okay, we're heading back to the co-working space. That's how I felt at least.
Yeah, and that's how we met today actually.
Yeah.
After like eating, we were like sitting around and talking, and now we're here.
Yep.
And so
now I took you away from your efficient work.
No, yeah, but no, I'm fine. I was
joking.
going on a break anyway, so. But yeah, and so in terms of like concrete stuff, my goal within these 3 months would be to, I think, sign another client. I think if I was able to sign another, like.
How do you go about doing that?
I normally just look up people who I follow on Twitter or follow on Instagram and see if there are any ways I can help them.
Nice.
So maybe they're like not creating, like they have a podcast, but they're not creating like clips for their podcasts, or they have a lot of Twitter content, but they are not like reposting it in other social media platforms.
And do you look at like what type of follower range are you looking at?
I normally try to go to like the bigger creators.
The bigger the better, of course.
Yeah, but that just for like money reasons, like normally like people who are bigger tend to have a little bit more money, and then they're like willing to pay.
Of course.
More willing to pay and willing to pay more.
So reaching out, that's what makes sense.
Yeah, and then I create like some free sample of my work for them, and then I send it to them, and that has been like my whole outreach strategy this past year, and it's worked well so far. So that's why I think it's like a feasible goal. It's not something that's super like out of range, out of reach.
No, not at all, not at all. And how much like work do you do on a daily basis of editing?
So
it probably varies a lot.
Yeah, the past couple of weeks, because I was like prepping a lot of work ahead, because I knew I was gonna come here, and the productivity for like at least a week would be like down.
Yeah.
I was working like 10-hour days every day.
Entrepreneur, it varies.
Just trying to like get as much work in as possible.
I promised you half an hour, and we just walked the block. Where can people find you and all that stuff?
Okay. You can find me on Twitter. It's the main platform I'm using for work. Although now Twitter was banned in Brazil, so I'm going to be using Twitter for 3 months here, and then.
Oh, really? You can't access Twitter? I forgot about that. That's a crazy situation. Actually.
Yeah.
So you know Twitter, but how do you can't use VPN in Brazil?
I can't talk about it publicly,
Fair.
No, we were just using. Now I can talk about it because whatever. But we were using Cloudflare's Warp, which is like that app you use on airports to not get safer Wi-Fi and stuff.
Yes.
And through that, which is not even like a VPN, you could access Twitter. So that was what I was doing.
Was it punishable?
No, it is punishable. There's like a big fine for it.
That's pretty rough.
But so I was not posting anything. I was not like making my activity public, just in case.
Yep.
But yeah, Twitter or like everywhere on social media, it's Vitor Angonese, which is my Italian name.
Nice.
It's VITORANGONESE. So that's my handle on all social medias.
Nice, dude.
And my website is just my last name, so ANGONESE.com, angonese.com.
Nice. And you can see like your work.
Yeah, website's currently under construction, but yeah, it's a portfolio, and then I'm planning on adding some more cool stuff there and ways to reach out. So that's also something that I want to get done here, finish the website and stuff. I started it before when I was back in Brazil, but then, as I told you, like the past couple of weeks was just like trying to edit as many videos as possible, and now back to that.
Wow, dude, you're a really smooth conversationalist. I feel you have lots of good stuff to share. Have you done a podcast before?
Thank you. I have one episode of a podcast that I recorded back at home.
Yeah, for yourself.
Yeah. Just to like send to family and friends, but I never like kept doing it. I just recorded one episode and abandoned it basically.
I think hey, this was a pleasure. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. This was also a pleasure.
Yes.
And I had no coffee today, so